What up, YouTube? Welcome to No Fear No Option channel. First video on this channel, and I had to tell you this video is only made because comfort killed my life. Comfort ruined my life. It's cold out here. I couldn't pick any better day and better time to record this video, so I'm gonna make this video really sweet and short. Three things that you will get from this video. Number one is who I am. Number two, my breaking point of why I created this channel. Number three, to tell you why I call my channel No Fear, No Options. And last, what you can expect from me on this channel. Posting constantly, what you will expect throughout my videos. So, how about we start with number one of who I am. It's cold. Let's go inside. We'll talk more. All right, where were we? So who I am, Carriage. I'm a 32-year-old man, and I've worked in my 20s. I always had big goal, big dream. The sky's the limit. Always felt that way, but never leave through those expectations that I had of myself. And the reason I never leave to these expectations that I thought I could live to is because of comfort, because of distraction that I have put myself under, as far as chasing women, alcohol, addiction. All these things were never able, I was never able to get over the hump. It was just a loop. So I worked so hard and I spent money on these distractions. So I wasn't able to get over the hump. And when I became a truck driver as a 24-year-old man, that's when things really went down. A lot of bad habits were created because of being alone, being away from family and stuff like that. Now I reached a breaking point of telling myself enough is enough, and I had to be brutally honest with myself to say something has to change, because if anything doesn't change, my 30s will look like my 20s, and my 40s will definitely look like my 30s. So something definitely has to change. I had to get over the hump. And I got to the point and say, you know what, enough is enough. Something has to change. Here is day one. Day one, moving forward, we're gonna do it no matter how we feel. Which lead me to tell you about the name of the channel that I picked. No fear, no options. Not because you cannot feel fear, not because you cannot be nervous, but you cannot give yourself any option to fall back, to escape, to hesitate, to procrastinate. We're not doing none of that. That's why I create No Fear, No Options. It's a slogan, as something you need to tell yourself before you do something that's a little bit nerve wracking, something that's gonna get you a little bit afraid, you make you a little bit nervous, a little bit anxiety, stuff like that. So reason why I create No Fear, No Options, because one thing for sure, fear always been my number one emotion to anything that I in anything and everything I'm getting myself into. Everything that have something of meaning, fear always show up for me. And sometimes it just show up. Fear never leave me. I have been dealing with fear my whole 20s, and as a 30-year-old man, I'm not trying to leave that fear, because you know what it look like to leave your fear is when you're afraid to do something, you just don't do it. Right? You afraid to talk to this guy, you just don't do it. You afraid to get up in the morning, you just don't do it. You afraid to go to the gym, you just don't do it. You afraid to go outside because it's cold, you just don't do it. You afraid to start martial art, you just don't do it. You see, you give yourself an options, and all the excuses that you're telling yourself why you're not doing that thing because you're afraid makes sense. It makes sense. That's the reason why you don't do it, because it make a lot of sense. Just like if you go outside right now, if you're afraid to go outside because it's cold, your brain would tell you it's cold, you can get sick, it's uncomfortable. All these things make sense. So you're just not doing it. But as a 31-year-old man moving forward, no fear, no option. So if I'm afraid to do martial art, if I'm afraid to go to the gym, if I'm afraid to get up in the morning, if I'm afraid to not go back drinking alcohol, all these things, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm not giving myself any options to fall back, to escape, to procrastinate, to hesitate. We're not doing that. So I'm gonna do it regardless of how afraid I am. I'm not letting my emotion making any decision for me moving forward at all in any shape or form. I'm not letting my emotion stopping the right decision that has to be made. You understand? So that's why I create no fear, no options. Okay. Now, moving forward, what you will get from me on this channel is to show you my process of overcoming the things that I've listed in the beginning: distraction, alcohol addiction, lose weight. I have to lose some weight, get my body where I want it to be, right? Training. I will start martial art training, which you will see unpolished uh growth. If you're looking for anything polished and perfect motivation, you need to click off this video because this is not what you're gonna get from me. Nah, you're gonna see me fall. You're gonna see me get back up. You're gonna see me find another job, not being over the road, but find another job. Door dashing while I'm work right after I get off my primary job. That's what you will see from me. The hustle to grow this channel, to show you that it can be done, that I can overcome this loop. I'm putting myself to the fire. Very excited and I'm very afraid at the same time. So that's what you would get from me. Me starting jiu-jitsu, me going to the gym, get up early in the morning, me going back to work from a company that I used to work for, going back to, even I'm not making the same amount of money, is totally 50% less than I'm making. No, I wouldn't say 50% less. I would say at least 30%. 30% less than what I'm making. But I'm on a mission and I have a lot to accomplish. So it's no more time for me to waste time, because if you remember my breaking point, I had to be brutally honest with myself to get over the hump. And as a 32-year-old man in 2026, I don't have much time to make mistakes. Small unnecessary mistakes doesn't need to be made as a 32-year-old man. You can make mistakes, but it has to be a mistake that pushing you forward and not unnecessary, mediocre, and pointless mistakes. Okay? So I'm gonna end right there without further ado. Thank you for watching this video until the end. And as always, no fear, no options, only actions. We're not hesitate, we're not procrastinate, we're not escaping. We're just attacking. I see you guys with day one starting tomorrow. I'm out.